Thanks, Mike. Good evening. We call to order the Board of Trustees work session for June 17th, 2024. First item is 38 East Main Street. The applicant in the room. Okay, Tony, want to tell us what we got?
This is Tony's dry cleaner next to the Brazilian barber shop. And they're looking to open an ice cream shop there, just a takeout, no, they said no seating.
Was that the same one that was looking in Marinelli's?
No,
No, different.
no, I don't think that deal ever went through.
Well, that just ruined my summer.
Well,
Thanks,
that's
Tony.
Paul.
Thanks a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I can give it to somebody, that's the big thing, that I'm giving.
Yeah, no, we have that.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah, just try to put a guy to go on the 38 Main Street, no kitchen,
No kitchen or anything. It's gonna be like just ice cream shop.
And you're Ms. Orlana?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Far is already in here.
How many employees are you gonna have?
Just me and one more person.
And what are your hours of operation? You want to be open?
I'm gonna try to open like 10 o'clock in the morning, like to 9 o'clock and night, but it's gonna be depends. If it's in the summer, maybe like little longer or maybe in winter, like.
No, it's
early.
okay. Just so we're
Yeah.
starting, we get a, you can
Yeah.
adjust that later, but just, and,
Mhm.
7 days a week?
Yes.
Okay.
Just ice cream?
I was gonna be just ice cream and desserts, but the dessert is already made. Like they're gonna get me to me already made. We just put like creams or stuff, no kitchen.
I know my wife's gonna ask, is it, you gonna have soft ice cream?
Yes.
Smart man, Mr. Henry.
And
Smart man.
my wife is also an Orlana.
Do you own any businesses like this, or is this a first venture for you, or?
It's gonna be the first one, but I'm work in this like for 17 years, so I'm trying to open my own, see if I can works.
And I'm curious, what made you choose coming here to Elmsford?
I live in Amsburg.
Okay.
I live over here like 20 years. My kids going to school, so I try.
I love it.
Right.
Trustee Henry, okay for the agenda?
Yes, sir.
Trustee Coffee?
Yes.
Trustee Evans?
Yes, with enthusiasm.
Thank you, gentlemen. Okay, just call Tony, make an appointment. He'll do all the paperwork with you.
Okay, thank you so
Thank you.
much.
You're welcome.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Right, just
okay, thank you.
6 to 8 William Street. This one looks exciting too. How are you?
Up a little bit. How y'all doing today?
Good.
I have a couple of pictures that I want to pass out of the I don't know how to just come bring them up.
Yeah.
Come on up. Thank you. I can just take one and pass it down? Okay. Thank you.
Well, that's going around. My name is Albert Boykin. Westchester native from White Plains. Played ball at White Plains High School. Played professional a bunch of years, and now I'm here back, giving back to the community. I did my last 5 years as Irvington High School's varsity coach, and now I want to open up a training facility here in Elmsford. Why Elmsford? Centralized location. I have one now. Currently, I heard you ask to it. That you run a
You know
current
what's coming.
business. Absolutely. I have one on Yonkers Avenue and in Yonkers across the street from the Raceway. So it's been going great for the last 2 years. Just a different clientele. Now I want to come closer to home. Exactly. I live in Portchester. I'm closer to get here from the Yonkers. A bunch of my kids who've played AAU for me, they're all in the area, or I always train. They want to take the trip all the way to Yonkers. Now it's much easier and centralized here. So this is why I want to bring it to this location.
Mr. Boykin, your name precedes you
Okay.
as quite legendary.
I
So it's a
appreciate
pleasure.
that.
I mean, really, the only comment that I have to make is when I see these change of use or China questionnaires or something comes before us and something's being built, it disheartens me when it's, and I'm just gonna come right out and say it,
Mhm.
when it's a corporate name, it just disheartens me because it's things that you're doing and it's businesses like this and that's going to serve this community in great ways and provide things for our community to do and outlets for them. That's what I want to see coming in here and building and growing. And you are an example of that. I've been waiting for something like this in this community for a long time because just the way we're zoned,
Mhm.
it is so incredibly perfect what you're about to do and the venture that you're about to have here. So not only am I looking forward to your business coming in to Elmsford Ford, I'm looking forward to you becoming a partner here
Appreciate it.
of a large magnitude because the possibilities are endless. So thank you for choosing us because you could have gone anywhere,
Absolutely.
truthfully, right? But you came here, so we're appreciative of that. And I look forward to watching this grow into something great. So thank you.
I appreciate that. What I pass around is the parking. I know parking in the area is sometimes a question. The owner of the building currently said there's 20 parking spaces in that lot. My business is predominantly ran after 5 o'clock when his business leaves. So I will have the entire parking lot for that parking spaces. In addition, the outside lot from the meters in the second picture, from the gas meters on to the grass, a park for me, a personal spot for myself and then one other employee can fit in that area. Parents can drop up and pick up. He said, no problem. You can use the parking lot to turn around. So that was my answer to the parking question.
So they would pull into the garage and turn, drop off and turn back
Yes,
around?
for drop off and
Okay.
pickups. Yes.
All
I
right,
asked
because
that
that was my
question.
one concern about.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah,
Now I did
I'm the
email.
one
I
you
got
talked-
you.
yeah,
There you
it's-
go.
It's
Yeah.
just a short little dead end with no cul-de-sac, so
Yes,
there's
yes.
nowhere for really.
That's why I
turn
wanted
around.
to bring the pictures. You can see they can make a U-turn.
And the other thing I mentioned is, you'll need to get an architect to, lay out the space and
Correct.
make sure, because we're really going from a warehouse space to a public assembly space.
Got it.
So we have to make sure we have the right fire ratings, egress and so on and so forth.
No problem.
For that.
Thank you.
Who'd you play for?
Fordham University. And then I played in Germany, China, Japan, Amsterdam, bunch of places. Yeah, Colombia.
So over the years, I've always been the optimist and say, when you expand and do really well. So when you run out of parking, okay,
It's
if
tough.
you come out of William Street and cross 9A
Mhm.
and head toward, like you're getting on 287 or go towards the Luga Park, on the
Yes.
right-hand side, just past Romantic Depot, there's a parking lot.
Okay.
The village owns that parking lot and we rent it out yearly to a company now, but he never fills it.
All right.
So we can give you the name of the person who, Lisa, you could sublet from him, I'm sure, because he
Yes.
only parks like 2 vehicles in there, so.
Perfect. Perfect. Even
See,
better.
when you run out, you need more room. so-
Absolutely. That's the goal. That's the goal for sure. Yeah.
Trustee Henry, okay for the agenda?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Coffee?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Evans?
With gratitude.
Thank you, sir. All right, so just
Right.
give Tony a call and he'll do all the paperwork. with you.
An email
All right.
along next steps.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Good
Thanks for
luck.
having me. I think.
Thank you.
Fifteen nineteen West Main? Can't believe it's been a year.
Good evening,
Good
Mayor, members of the Board of Trustees, Neil Alexander, a partner at Cuddy and Fader. Exactly as you said, Mayor, it's been a eventful year. As you noted, we obtained our approval for site plan for this self-storage facility. Back on July 10th of 2023, there was subsequent litigation by a third party, which we defended and led to a notice of discontinuance in October of 23. And then we went, once that was addressed, to the ZBA to obtain the variances that were a condition of the approval that you had given us, which we obtained at the end of December of 2023. statute of limitations ran on that in January, we exhaled. And then we really candidly were able to finally start really getting it going in earnest. But we haven't, we haven't fulfilled all the conditions. There are a couple that we're working with staff on. Nothing, nothing of major concern, but we have to figure out how we're going to get there on a couple of last little pieces. And so we just need a little bit more time, and candidly, or more, to be direct about it. A lot of the clock was eaten up by that litigation and collateral issues, obtaining sister approvals from the ZBA and from others. So that's kind of where we are. We are still committed to the project and trying to check all the boxes off to get there.
So everything's behind you now. You can actually start with
Yes,
Tony to,
and we're having active conversations.
have
We're
been,
working
okay.
through that last of the pieces, but there are a couple of conditions still.
I'm actually going to request that this be tabled until trustee Lopez is here. I think his opinion on this, considering the journey that we've taken, would be important, and I would rather not act on this without his presence and without his input.
So can we be heard on some of that, or do we not? Go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry. I jumped the gun here. Go ahead, Mayor.
no, good. What'd you say?
I was just gonna say, I mean, this is very routine in most communities that, you have to sometimes, you have sister agencies to fulfill. In this case, we actually had a litigation that shouldn't be held against an applicant by any stretch. Plus, there's been no changes in circumstances or the project. So I would ask that this be addressed this evening, hopefully favorably. I understand that trustee Lopez isn't available this evening for whatever reasons, personal or otherwise. But I still think, this is very common where you go, especially when there's more than one agency involved. It's just you can't get it done in a year. I mean, especially when you have demolition that you have to do too, and you have tenants you have to coordinate with and things of that sort. I don't think, a year is a reasonable expectation, and that's why it's common to come forward, and you want to see that the applicants is moving forward and they're not trying to land bank it which is not the case here. I mean, we defended and spent tens of thousands of dollars to defend a litigation. We then proceeded to the ZBA, obtained their approval, and we lost 7 months, from July to January.
Trustee Henry, do you want to wait or so trustee Lopez on that? Who's missing next meeting? Joe's, trustee Coffee.
I don't have a problem with moving it tonight.
All right, so we'll move forward.
Thank you very much.
Trustee Henry, okay with the agenda?
Yeah.
Trustee Coffee?
Yes, sir.
Trustee Evans?
No, but it'll be.
Just-
Just run out of time.
Right.
No, okay. All right, 20 North Mortimer Solar. Sunrun,
Just love when Sunrun is here.
yeah.
They do things right. Good
We
evening.
try,
You achieve.
we try. And when we don't, at least we do a damn attempt to correct it. Because I only want to be here in front of you guys one time. You only want to see me one time per project, so I get it.
That's fair. That's fair.
And yeah, we're looking to install a 39 panel system on this property.
It's a lot.
Yeah, right?
That's
It's a
okay.
lot, it's a lot of energy. I do have copies of the renderings that we did, if you guys don't have those at your
No, we-
disposal.
we do.
Okay,
We have those too.
perfect. Perfect. Making sure.
There's a major fire here. So,
Oh,
years ago, 15 years ago.
our,
No, there was nothing like, just a foundation.
This was the original fire. building.
Yeah, so
Like-
the only thing that was saved was foundation on it. So it's all good now.
Wasn't because of solar panels.
I mean, didn't Jimmy Carter have them on in the 70s? Didn't he have them on in the White House on the 70s?
I don't know, but you just gave me something to Google later. I can tell you
Yeah,
that. much. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then you can be like, that girl from Sunrun and lied to me.
You don't say.
Oh, wow.
The old systems were just for getting heating water, and they use them for your hot water or for your boiler. But then the ones that created electricity came later on. I don't know what those dates are.
And who needs Google when you've got these two? I love
It's
it.
like it's their job or
I
something.
love it.
Trustee Henry, okay for the agenda?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Coffee?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Evans?
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, sir.
All right,
Thank you,
wonderful.
all
Thank you
set.
for your
Thank-
time.
Thank you
tonight,
for being here.
Good to see you again.
You too.
Administrator is going to brief us on the 287, under 287
So,
meeting.
meeting. Put together for years. And something just told me the timing was right to get a response right around now. So with the help of the Assemblywoman's office, we put some DOT people together. In our gang, we went out there, and basically what we talked about was the main subjects are the riprap that was put under the bridge when it was first built, close to 20 years ago. The fence or the prison fence or the lack of fence that was also put alongside the sidewalk some 20 years ago that was supposed to be temporary. The lighting, which barely works from time to time. And then just the overall condition that, the one corner on the seafood place side by William Street there was an accident there probably 6 years ago that took the fence down. That remnants of the fence were still there until last fall when I complained about them. And now they just totally took that away, but nothing has been replaced. You take a walk in there and you see the dirt's just all over the place. It's unbelievable. And then the grass is hanging out on the, out over the fence, the weeds, the sidewalk. And then a whole nother subject, which, is beyond this subject at this point. The traffic through there I mean, I was actually scared a couple times standing there on the sidewalk. You know, one of those trucks come through there and it feels like they're gonna hit you. And they're moving. You know, sometimes they're not, but a lot of times the traffic's really moving. So anyway, they came out there, we went over what the concerns were, and then, we got back this email that I shared with you. And, a couple of reasons I wanted to bring this up tonight was, one, I wanted to be, sort of on the record. But at the same time, ask for, your feelings on this a little bit. I look at this letter and I'm being very polite, and I see a lot of BS is what I see. I see a lot of not understanding what the issue was. I see that they provided me, they went and they did the research on what the plan was when it was built, what the maintenance plan was after it was built, and who was technically responsible for each. That's not what we're talking about 20 years down the road. And I also disagree with them on who's responsible for a whole bunch of things. The one really wrong word they used in here was the drainage, that we're responsible for the drainage. Tony will attest, and Dan will attest that over the 22 years that I've been here, we've beaten several lawsuits involving the state and other private parties that try to put the drainage on state highways on the village, and they do it to everybody because they misinterpret and misread the law, and they're totally wrong. So kind of what I'm asking for is, I think there needs to be another meeting with these people, but I also think we need to get a little more aggressive with them, and I want your permission to get a little more aggressive with them.
Without objection from this side.
Okay, by me.
Under one condition. Can I be there for that?
Sure.
Thank you. That's
Okay,
all I
wait.
ask. I could use some entertainment.
So I'll let you know. I'll reach out to, well, I already told them, I don't think I included you on the one email I wrote back that, I thanked him right away for his response. And I basically said that, I would be presenting this to you tonight in a public forum, because I wanted them to know that. And that, my opinion without meeting with you was that there probably needs to be another meeting, and I'll get back to them to hopefully schedule that. They were very nice. One guy is the deputy regional director, so I was surprised that they sent somebody with that much clout to the initial meeting, especially on site.
Came down from Poughkeepsie.
Yeah.
Motion to close the work session? Adjourn the work session?
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Alright.
Opposed, carried. We'll, in a minute, we'll open a public meeting and, we'll do everything and wait till 7:30 for the public hearing part.